Gospels, but today, pulling from the book of Revelation, chapter 2. Write this to Ephesus, to the angel of the church, the one with 7 stars in his right fist grip, striding through the golden 7-light circle, speaks. I see what you've done, your hard work, your refusal to quit. I know you can't stomach evil, that you weed out apostolic pretenders. I know your persistence, your courage in my cause, that you never wear out. But you walked away from your first love. Why? What's going on with you anyway? Do you have any idea how far you've fallen? A Lucifer fall. Turn back. Recover your dear early love. No time to waste, for I'm well on my way to removing your light from the golden circle. You do have this to your credit. You hate the Nicolaitan business. I hate it too. Are your ears awake? Listen. Listen to the wind words, the Spirit blowing through the churches. I'm about to call each conqueror to dinner. I'm spreading a banquet of tree of life fruit, a supper plucked from God's orchard. To Smyrna. Write this to Smyrna, to the angel of the church, the beginning and ending, the first and final one, the once dead, and then come alive speaks. I can see your pain and poverty, constant pain, dire poverty, but I also see your wealth. And I hear the lie and the claims of those who pretend to be good Jews, who in fact belong to Satan's crowd. Fear nothing in the things you're about to suffer, but stay on guard. Fear nothing. The devil is about to throw you in jail for a time of testing. 10 days. It won't last forever. Don't quit. Even if it costs you your life, stay there believing. I have the life crown sized and ready for you. Are your ears awake? Listen. Listen to the wind words, the Spirit blowing through the churches. Christ's conquerors are safe from devil death. Write this to Pergamum, to the angel of the church, the one with the sharp-biting sword draws from the sheath of his mouth. Out come the sword words. I see where you live, right under the shadow of Satan's throne, but you continue boldly in my name. You never once denied my name, even when the pressure was worst, when they martyred Antipas, eyewitness who stayed faithful to me on Satan's turf. But why do you indulge that Balaam crowd? Don't you remember that Balaam was an enemy agent, seducing Balak and sabotaging Israel's holy pilgrimage by throwing unholy parties? And why do you put up with the Nicolaitans who do the same thing? Enough! Don't give in to them. I'll be with you soon. I'm fed up and about to cut them to pieces with my sword's sharp words. Are your ears awake? Listen. Listen to the wind words, the Spirit blowing through the churches. I'll give the sacred manna to every conqueror. I'll also give a clear, smooth stone inscribed with your new name, your secret new name. Probably close to a year ago now, Go Set a Watchman came out. It was Harper Lee's sequel, which is really the prequel to Go Kill a Mockingbird. And not to be a spoiler or anything, but you see a vastly different picture of Atticus Finch than you see in To Kill a Mockingbird. See, in To Kill a Mockingbird, if you remember, Atticus was all about social justice, about defending Tom Robinson because of the fact that he was accused merely because of the color of his skin. Just because he was a black man, he was accused of raping this white woman, and Atticus taught Jem and Scout that this is not the way that things should be, that people should not be judged and accused by the color of their skin, and that they should be protected and seen as children of God just like the rest of us. And this was the message that Atticus taught his children. This was the message that despite knowing that he was going to lose that case, despite knowing that Tom Robinson was going to be convicted, despite his best efforts, he still fought on so that his voice would be heard in the name of justice, in the name of equality. But then you come across the 70-something-year-old Atticus Finch in Go Set a Watchman. That Atticus Finch is greeted by Scout, and she comes home from New York, and she always revered her dad as this amazing symbol, this example of morality and justice and hope. But she comes home to her dad to find that he's been going to these meetings These meetings of the older tone men, these meetings that are really disturbing because they're really a cover for the KKK. She can't believe that her dad, Atticus Finch, the man that voiced for justice, is going to these meetings. And finally she confronts him and she says, Atticus, she always calls him by his first name, Atticus, I will never, ever, ever believe another thing to be true because the one person who I trusted, who spoke truth, has turned out to be a bold-faced liar and a fake. And you destroyed her. Now her uncle, Jack, said, you know what, Scout, that was your fault. Because you put your dad up on a pedestal and made a hero out of him when he's just a human being like the rest of us. So you got your heart broken because of what you did and raising him up to that level. She knew he was right, but she was still very disturbed because she'd seen with her own eyes that her dad had stood there in that court with a bunch of white men who were threatening his life and telling him he was going to kill him and his children for defending this black man. But he did it anyway. And then he turned to his kids and said, this is exactly what you should do if you're faced with the same situation. But then some 30-some years later, there she was with her dad, attending these KKK meetings, and she said, Dad, why? Why are you doing this? And he told her. He said, do you want the NAACP coming down here and running things in Alabama? You don't want that. You don't want the Supreme Court interfering with justice here on our turf. The state makes the laws. We don't need outsiders to come in and tell us what to do. And she said, well, Dad, what was that trial all about? What was that all about when you were standing up for Tom Robinson? He said, I was just trying to keep the peace. He said, it wasn't about the race thing. It was just, there was such a ruckus in town and I needed to calm things down and somebody had to step up and defend this man because nobody else would. So I needed to bring some peace to our community and that is why I defended him. She said, you are a liar. 30-some years ago, that's not what you told me. That's not why you said you were defending him, and now you tell me this, and you join with those people who represent hatred and fear. I don't even know you. That was Atticus Finch. That was how he became. Because we are all, despite our best or worst or lack of effort, we are all becoming something. That quote you might have seen earlier by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We will not so much remember the words of our enemies as the silence of our friends. If we don't say anything, it's still a choice. If we don't do anything, it's still a choice. And we're still becoming. Instead of becoming the liberator, we're becoming the encourager for things that are right. This passage that Jessica read to us, I look at it and I wonder if this reflects where we are today. Hear this, you that trample on the needy and bring ruin to the poor of the land, saying, when will the new moon be over so we can sell grain in the Sabbath so that we may offer wheat for sale? Selling the poor for shekels of silver and the needy for sandals. The dead bodies shall be many, cast out in every place. Be silent. For the word of God will pass from you, and one day will come when you seek it, and you will not find it. And I ask myself, is that where we're at? Was Amos talking about today? We all know that something needs to be done. We all know that something is very wrong when somebody is so disturbed that he drives a truck through a crowd of people and kills 80-some people. We know that there's a problem when police are shooting people because of the color of their skin, and when people are retaliating, shooting police because of the uniform that they wear. We know that something is wrong. We see the bodies on the ground and we ask ourselves, what the heck am I to do? But we get all these excuses, right? I'm not good enough. I got my own junk. I got to fix myself before I can worry about going out and helping other people. We tell ourselves that all the time. We get into these arguments over semantics. The one that I keep seeing right now on Facebook is this argument versus all lives matter versus black lives matter. I get it. Both sides are coming from a good place. They have good hearts, right? Some are saying, man, it's not just black lives. Everybody matters. And the people on the other side are saying, yeah, but you're not going to get that everybody matters before you can face that Black Lives Matter. They mean well. It's just an argument over semantics that keeps us frozen and paralyzed from getting to the real issues. It keeps us from getting to the work. Right? It keeps us back in that stage where we're just talking about it and pontificating and saying, well, here's what we should do, and here's what we should do. But instead we do nothing. We sit and talk about it. And when I say we, you know I'm not talking about we. I mean we, all of us, we're just talking. We're scared, we don't know what to do. We're saying, man, I got my own junk, I can't do anything. I'm waiting for the Word of God to come to me and heal me and fix me and make me whole so that I can go out and do for others as I'm supposed to do, as I am called to do. I know I've got something to do, but right now I'm just not feeling it. Like Amos said, that day will come when you will seek the word of the Lord and you will not find it. Maybe that's because we're not doing it. Maybe once the work starts, even though we don't know what we're doing, or how we're going to do it, or where it's going to lead us, maybe once the work starts, we start to hear the word of the Lord again, and that's why it disappeared, because the work stopped. Maybe once the action begins, the sound of the voice of God will return. That's what I seem to see in Scripture. That's what I seem to see in the voices of the prophets, whether they're the prophet Amos or the prophet Martin Luther King Jr. or whatever the prophet may be. It seems to be that the voice of God comes out of the doing. This passage from Revelation, I was just so caught up by it because the passage at the end, section at the end there, it says, are your ears awake? It keeps repeating this. Are your ears awake? Are you listening to me? Listen. Listen to the winged words, the Spirit blowing through the churches. As if to say, the word is there. If only you listen. I'll give the sacred manna to every conqueror. I'll also give a clear, smooth stone inscribed with your new name, your secret new name. I was at the Wild Goose Festival. We did this ritual that was led by a man who I'd say I became pretty good friends with, if that's possible in 4 days. But I mean, we did a lot of talking, a lot of chatting, kind of built a kinship. And he led this service where we took a piece of paper and we wrote down something that may have served us in the past. It may have been helpful. But now it was just serving to weigh us down. And he said, write it on a piece of paper. And we went out to this bonfire and we threw it. And then we came back in and he read this passage to us and he gave us all a flat stone. And he said, sit in silence and listen to the winged words. Listen to the voice of God blowing through the churches and hear your name. It's so powerful. We did that. We took those stones and we wrote a name. Everybody got a name. Everybody got a name. And we wrote them down. I won't take time to do that today, and we have stones that we've already written on. But when you leave here today, find some time to sit and do that. To sit and listen for the voice of God to tell you what is your new name. Because this passage, for those who have overcome, for those who have conquered, I give a white stone. The Greek word there is actually a verb. It's a progressive verb. It's actually for those who are overcoming, for those who are becoming, which to me gives more hope. Because it's not to say, well, you're already supposed to be there. You're already supposed to be good and perfect and all those wonderful things. It's not saying that. So we don't have to wait to be good enough before we can get to work. It says you are still a work in progress, and that work continues because I am going to continue creating in you and through you for those who are becoming. And he asks, what is your name? Perhaps when we take that time to sit in silence, perhaps we haven't really contributed to oppression, but maybe our silence has. So maybe when we look at that, we say, my name was oppressor, but now it's liberator. Maybe my name was weak, but now it is strong. Maybe I was timid, but now I am bold. Maybe I was scared, but now I am courageous. For we all will be given a new name, and we will continue throughout our whole lives to become, to live into that name, to gather the courage and the strength and the hope and the fire and the power and everything that we need to stand up in the face of oppression, so we don't have to look around us and see the bodies on the ground and say, why? What can I do? Because even when we don't know what to do, we'll do something. For God's sake, we'll do something. For human sake, we will do something. And in that process, we will hear the word of God and know that we made the right choice, and know that we have chosen the right, and know that we have been chosen for this time to stand up for those who cannot stand for themselves, and to do. Because this is what we've been made for. Because we've all got a name. And we all have to live into it. Amen. Now before we do our hymn, I've got a video to play for you. I love this. This guy is amazing. He says, this echoes the lyrics you're about to hear echoes the sentiments of African American tenors, past, present, and future, but it echoes the sentiments of everybody. Okay, so listen to the words of this. Echoes the sentiments of anybody who has ever been oppressed, who has been given a voice to speak for freedom.
The lyrics of the next song echo the sentiments of African American tenors, past, present, and future. Go out and tell the story, let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you, make them hear you. How justice was our battle and how justice was denied. Make them hear you, make them hear you. And say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white. And I could not put down my soul when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Go.